Israel cannot exist without being propped up by the United States.
You think so?
Its nuclear program came from the United States. Its weapons come from the United States. Its economy is supported by the United States. I'm not attacking Israel. I'm just saying in point of fact, I think that.
In this video, we'll examine the fact that Israel has a stronghold over the United States and that Benjamin Netanyahu is actually the president of our foreign policy agenda, making Trump betray his own MAGA base and his own America First policies, which I voted for him for the American First policies. Allow us to continue to listen to this.
That's true. And I mean, Israel thinks it's true, or they wouldn't have armies of lobbyists and influencers in the United States. Bibi wouldn't have shown up twice in the past 3 months.
Any country, if there is any country out there that fundamentally cannot exist without being subsidized by American taxpayers, then not only should that country not exist, but that country already does not exist.
I'm in alignment with Matt Walsh on this point. He's speaking 100% truth. If we subsidize Israel on every front, on every level when it comes to a nation, then that nation is not a nation. It actually is a subsidiary of the United States. And this is why I say Israel owns the American government. And you can see that it's happening even with the individuals that you and I thought, those of us who voted for him, would be American first and would reject Israel's warmongering and war-happy stance in the Middle East. However, he has proven us to be wrong on that front. Again, I voted for him, and I would still vote for him, even if I knew this was the case, because the Democrats, they just don't represent almost anything I stand for, and they don't know the difference between a biologically born male and or a female, and I just can't ride with that. Allow him to continue.
It's not really.
That's interesting.
It's not really a country,
right? No, it's.
So again, I don't agree with Matt Walsh on a lot of things, but what I do agree with him on that is what he just said, and I have no problem agreeing and disagreeing with individuals, even if I again disagree with them on other things. If they're speaking truth on maybe one thing, two things, or a ton of things, I'm still going to align with the truth, even though I may be at odds with that individual on several other things that they may speak about. Allow us to pull up this next video and we'll talk about, we'll get a little bit more insight into Israel's stronghold over America. Allow us to share this tab in this video and let's jump right in.
Israel is accusing Iran of targeting civilian sites as this war continues on, with anger and outrage gripping the country following a direct hit on a hospital in southern Israel. And in the wake of that strike there, Israel's defense minister coming out saying that Iran's supreme leader Khamenei should not be allowed to exist.
So allow me to get this straight. Again, any civilians getting killed on either side is a horrible thing. But Israel is the aggressor in this war. They chose to bomb Iran first, and now they're complaining about being hit with bombs themselves. That makes no type of sense. Israel says in the case of Gaza in October the 7th, they say that they have the right to defend themselves. So you bomb another nation preemptively, and you just bomb them, and they haven't bombed you, and then they bomb back. And now you complaining about them bombing back. Wars are dangerous. Wars are evil. And you, Benjamin Netanyahu, continue to engage in evil. And now you have Trump about to follow suit with you. Trump has sold those of us out who voted for him for his American First policies. It is what it is. I got to call it for what it is. Allow us to continue.
We decided on the goals of the war. The goals are to eliminate the nuclear threat and put an end to the missile threat. Amid this, the IDF has been instructed and knows that in order to achieve all of its goals, this man absolutely should not continue to exist.
But what do such comments mean for the ultimate objectives of this war? Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was asked point blank if he believes a regime change in Iran is a stated goal of these operations. He said no, but wants to leave the door open for Iranian citizens to possibly rise up if they so choose.
It's very interesting that, again, these individuals out of the West, and we'll pull up Tulsi Gabbard in a minute and see how her and Trump have stated things that are not in alignment with each other when it comes to Iran's ability to build a nuclear weapon, and Tulsi Gabbard bending the knee to Trump. Again, at the end of the day, Trump said he would be American first, that he was the president of peace, that he doesn't start new wars, but yet he is bending the knee to Israel and their bloodthirsty stance in trying to destroy all these nations in the Middle East, claiming victimhood every time they make an aggressive, illegal, and deadly attack on another country. It's always Israel is the victim. In America, American government, the American politicians, they're always hollering about people got to stand up for themselves. They're always wanting to cut things that may help other people at the lower levels of the society. So if you condemn these individuals in America for playing the victimhood role, for being a victim of a circumstance and always dependent on the government, how can you justify continuously funding a nation for 75 years on multiple levels, as you saw Tucker Carlson explain, and giving that nation $4 billion every year? That nation could not sustain itself without our military support, without our financial support, without any of the support that we give them. That is a welfare recipient for 75 years, and yet the hypocrites in Congress, which again, 99.9% of them are all in the pockets of Israel or controlled by an Israeli lobby member. They are controlled. Our Congress is owned by Israel. So let's jump into this last video, and we're going to see, talk about how Tulsi Gabbard said in March that Iran was not building a nuclear weapon. Trump comes out and says that his intelligence community don't know what they're talking about, because again, those who back Trump with the most money, Marion Ederson or something like that, I think she's a Jew and a big supporter of Israel. These individuals actually own Trump as well, and this is very disappointing. It's disheartening that this individual who said he stood for one thing and we thought he stood for that thing is actually still bowing to Israel. But we should be able to expect it. I'm disappointed. I'm not necessarily surprised, because it plays itself over and over and over again. And how has it been in the Middle East when they have destroyed the leaders of these countries, Iraq, Libya, Syria? These countries explode into chaos, and they foment even more hatred for the American citizens, us, because of what our government is doing on the behalf, most time, of Israel, or on the behalf or those warmongering hawks that are in the Senate and the Congress who are getting kickbacks from the military industrial complex. So again, we must hold these individuals accountable. Trump must be held accountable for betraying that which he said he stood for, which is America first. He is not America first. He is Israeli first. He may be American second, especially when it comes to foreign policies and the war which Israel instigated and was the aggressor towards Iran. Now complaining that Iran is hitting civilians. What you think they're going to do? Again, war is messy, it's ugly, it's evil. It should never be engaged in unless it's absolutely necessary. But Israel wants to dominate the Middle East, and they're willing to go to war, but only if the Americans back them, because they can't sustain themselves without America backing them. And it's not for the benefit of America. Allow us to finish this one out, all right? We'll come into this video. Check out Tulsi Gabbard. Check this individual out right here. Again, this is a left-leaning video. I don't deal with the left like that. But if they have anything to say that has any truth to it. I don't care where the truth is coming from. I lean into the truth. And again, I don't agree with the left on virtually anything. I don't agree with their LGBTQ pushing that agenda on little kids in school. I don't agree with men, biologically born men and women's sports. I don't believe with open borders. So I don't agree with them on many things. I don't agree with them pushing, pushing the narrative of abortion on everybody. Although your body, your choice, you can choose it. I don't agree with them pushing this single feminism, this extra liberalism mess that they push, that they trick women into believing that they are living in a society where they don't need men, they don't need X, Y, and Z. The very structure of society, especially this American society, is built 99.9% by the hands of men. Everything that you pretty much benefit from when it comes to the creature comforts, your house, the office buildings that you work in, the gyms that you go to, the restaurants that you go to, the streets that you drive on, everything that pretty much makes up the structure of an advanced society was built by the hands of 99.9% men. So to say something foolish like that is ridiculous. Allow us to jump in to this video right here. All right.
One of the things that's made me most worried that Donald Trump is going to engage in bombing Iran is his recent assertions that they are developing a nuclear weapon and could have them in weeks or months, even though that is not what our intelligence community thinks. He reiterated that earlier today, saying they could have it in weeks. And when he was told that our intelligence agencies, which just once again reiterated that that is not the case, when he was asked about that, he said, then our intelligence community is wrong. And so this is feeling super run up to the war in Iraq. Just again, baseless belief that we have to go in there because of weapons of mass destruction. And one of the interesting sort of factional fights that developed from this was that to assert that, he had to contradict Tulsi Gabbard specifically, who had testified in March that they were not developing a nuclear weapon. And he seems dead set on the idea that she was wrong. And that was fascinating. Tulsi Gabbard maybe being pushed out of the administration because she stood for the truth for once. And we have a little bit of an update on that. But first, here is.
And I disagree with him talking about she stood for the truth for once. He's torn those political lines. He's obviously a lefty. And again, I find it very disingenuous for any individual to be a left or right when it comes to just commentating on things and not running for a specific office. I understand why individuals choose left and right when they are politicians, but individuals who are not politicians, how can you align yourself with either the left or the right without or permanently align yourself as being a left individual and permanently align yourself with being a right individual when both of these parties have their flaws, their weaknesses, and pretty much all of them are controlled by the Israeli lobby. So again, I find it highly ridiculous for an individual to say that they are articulating a specific truth when they are aligned to either one of these aisles and are carrying the card of that specific political group, the left or the right. I'm conservative, I'm liberal, X, Y, and Z. Again, that really blocks out your ability to really take in a full spectrum of information when you align yourself so vehemently with the left or the right. And this individual, obviously, he's a lefty when he says some foolishness like that. But again, he's making a point in some of the commentary that makes sense. So I continue to listen.
Donald Trump being asked about this disagreement.
I think within a matter of weeks, or certainly within a matter of months, they're going to be able to have a nuclear weapon. We can't let that happen.
What intelligence do you have that Iran is building a nuclear weapon? Your intelligence community has said they have no evidence that they are at this point.
Well, then my intelligence community is wrong.
So if his intelligence community is wrong, he needs to fire everyone in his intelligence community. He is being controlled by the Israeli lobby. He is being controlled by Benjamin Netanyahu, and from all those donors who are Jewish, who spent hundreds of millions of dollars to back his campaigns. He is bending the knee to them and he's abandoning the American First movement. He's abandoning his MAGA base. This individual, again, while I agree with him on his border, he gets an A+. While I agree with him on his attempt to deport these illegals, he gets an A+. When I agree with him with his attempt to keep biological boys and men out of women's sports, he gets an A+ for his efforts. He gets an F for standing up for what he said he was standing up for, America first, when it comes to these foreign wars. He gets an F. So again, if you like the commentary, please like, subscribe, and comment. Hit that bell for the notifications. I'm dropping videos every day. Also, I have a fitness channel. It's called Monte's Fitness. The link should be in the description. You go over there and follow me over there. You get workouts that you can do on a daily, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You get health information every day of the week. Insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune diseases, high blood pressure, again, mineral vitamin deficiency, anxiety, panic attacks, depression, anything that is dealing with your health psychologically, mentally, emotionally, and physically. We cover that on that channel. So have a beautiful day. Sending you peace and always love. Peace.